All right, in this assignment, we're talking about rectangular and triangular prisms. One side is rectangular, the other side is triangular. Okay, so it's just, and they're all prisms. So then the only equation we're going to use is volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. This one is the area of the base, okay, and h stands for the height. Okay, so h is the height, capital B is the area of the base. So I'll do a few of these, like number 4. Okay, now if capital B is the area of the base, this means that I look at my base there, and the base, it happens to be a rectangle. I can see that, and so then that means that this is actually length times width times height. So then I can just say, okay, length times width, and then times height. Well, that is 10 times 10 times 9. And that'll give me the answer. Just length times width times height. Or the area of the base, that's the capital B, the area of the base, which is just length times width, times the height, which is, of course, 900 cubic feet. Okay, again, this one here, I'm going to say this is the base. Okay, if that's the base, then I'm still going to do the same thing. Area of the base times the height, but this is actually length times width times height. So then I need this. What is this measure? Well, I can see that this is the same as this. So that's 9. So then it's 9 times 12, and the height is over here, times 7. 9 times 12 is, what is that, 108? 108 times 7. And so 108 times 7, what's that, 756. So that's 756 cubic centimeters. Length times width times height, okay? Length times width times height, or the area of the base times the height. Yeah, let's go to the other side. The other side is a little more difficult. An extra step. Maybe not so much difficult, it's just an extra step. Okay, and so we have the same equation. Okay, we're not dividing by 3 because these are all prisms. But my capital B is not a rectangle no more, so I can't say length times width. Okay, so I have to look at my capital B there. And so I'll do this one here. Okay, and so I notice that the capital B is the area of the base. Well, that means this is the area, remember, this is the area of the base. Well, if I look at my base, I notice that it's a prism, so it has 2 bases. And the 2 bases are actually rectangular. There's one there, and there's one up here. Okay, they're 2 rectangular bases. Okay. And so then I look here, my capital B is actually find the area of a triangle. And so that's that, and then we bring this down out here. And so then I know that everything inside these brackets has to come from the triangle part. And so how do I know what to use, what two sides to use? Well, that little square there is a right angle. That means they have perpendicular lines. So that means I'm going to use the lines that touch this little right angle or this little square. That's 8.6 there, 8.6 times, this is also touching that right angle or that little square, and this is parallel to him. So that means that this is also 12 because the parallel lines. And so this is 8.6 divided by 2. This is all part of the area of the triangle first. And then times the height. The height is the line that's touching both of the triangles at the same time, or how tall it is. And this, in this case, it happens to be 10. And so we're going to multiply times 10. Now here I'm going to divide first to get rid of division. So 12 divided by 2, or half of 12. So 12 divided by 2, or half of 12, is 6. And so now it's 8.6 times 6. So I'm going to put the 8.6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 8 times 6 plus 3 is 51. So 51.6. And then 51.6 times the 10 Remember, you're multiplying by 10. That has 1 0. Just move the decimal one time to the right. 1. And so my answer here would be 516 kms cubed, or cubic kilometers. Okay. Okay. I'll do another one. This one here. Okay. Again, you're going to use this equation. Not divided by 3 because it's a prism. But I know my base is not a rectangle. It happens to be a triangle, and this is also the rectangular base. So you got two triangles there. Okay. So that means that this is actually base times height divided by 2 times the height. And so then I got to check there, okay, what two numbers are touching this little square here. And I notice it's this one. There's no number there, but I know this is parallel to this guy. So that happens to be 3. I know this is also touching here. Well, this is parallel to that guy, so that must be 4. And I know the number touching both triangles is not 5, because 5 is part of the triangle, and this is also 5, but they're not touching at the same time. See, they're actually parallel lines. It's actually this one that's touching both triangles. Any of those 3 are touching both triangles, and so that one is 1. And so now we have 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so 6 times 1 gives me 6 cubic yards. 6 cubic yards. Remember, all I did was 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6 cubic yards. I'll do one more here. We have this one. Again, area of the base times the height. Again, we know that this triangle is the base. So I'll highlight one of them. It has 2 of them. I'll highlight one. Okay. So now again, let's look at a little square here, a little square here. The number that's touching there, okay, that's 3. And it's also this one. Okay, well, what runs parallel to him? Well, that's parallel to this guy, so that must be 4. And then the height, what's touching both triangles? Well, I know it can't be 3, because 3 is actually this. This is also 3. Those are parallel lines. So it can't be parallel lines. It can't be 4 because those are parallel. It can't be 5 because this is parallel to this guy. So those are parallel. It has to be the 3 because that's the one that's touching both triangles at the same time. That's the base. I mean, that's the height, or how tall it is. And so that is also 3. And so now again, 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so this is 6 times 3, which is 18 cubic kilometers, or kilometers cubed. Okay. Okay, I'll do one more. And this one here. Okay. Again, volume is equal to the base times the height. This is the area of the base. The triangle is the base, or the 2 triangles are the bases. To be precise, that means that this is base times height divided by 2. Bring the height down. Okay. Again, I look at this part here that has to come from the triangle, and so that means this here means I have a right angle here. So I look at this that touches there. That's 9.1 times this. Well, that's 12. Okay, and then times the height, how tall it is. Well, if some of you think it's 12, well, this is also 12, and those are parallel lines. It can't be the parallel lines. If this is 10, well, this is also 10. That means they're parallel, so they can't be touching at the same time. This is 12. Well, this is also 12. A pair of parallel lines. You're looking for the one line that touches both triangles, and they never will touch because they're parallel. So this guy will touch both triangles, this guy touches both triangles, and this guy touches both triangles. So the height would be 5. Now here, I can do a little shortcut here, divide before I multiply. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And so 9.1 times 6, 9.1 times 6 is 54.6. and then 54.6 times 5. Okay, 54.6 times 5. So let's see here. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 5 is 30. And so we have 5 times 4 is 20 plus 3 is 23. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 2 is 27. So we get one number to the right of the decimal. So I get 273 cubic feet. Okay, so my answer is that. I hope you can finish this assignment. Good luck. Bye-bye.